Hey people, it's Ray. I wanted to talk about a few statements that people say that solidify their stupidity and their contribution to our genocide, to systemic racism here in America. I speak specifically to Americans because this is where we at. United States, although it does, include America, North, South, and Mexico. Yeah, Mexico is a part of America for the stupid people who don't know. United States of Mexico. Anywho, there are 3 things that you could say to or around me that solidify the stupidity and the contribution you make, as I said, to systemic racism and other forms of oppression. Number 1, I don't see color. When you say you don't see color, what you're trying to do is look and sound like a saint, like a good person, like someone who doesn't judge people based on race. But what you're really doing is trying to get out of an uncomfortable conversation about race or silence somebody who is having a discussion about race because it makes you uncomfortable. Saying you don't see race is like saying you don't see all of the issues in society that are race related. Whenever people are paid differently, treated differently, or targeted by mass incarceration or death based on race, you're saying, I'm looking away from that. It's not my problem. You don't look like a good person. You don't sound like a good person. You just sound like a complete fucking idiot. Number 2, anyone can be racist. There's racists in every different race here. When the United States' main source of revenue is racism and always has been, no Billy. Not everybody can be racist. You can either be a racist who is actually reaping benefits of racism at the social level, because I know a lot of y'all like to use that personal, dictionary definitive of racism without systemic, because it makes you feel better by calling people who react to racism the racists and the problem with the country and the reason racism still exists, which is bullshit. Systemic racism is genocide. It is at the social level where there are laws intact, policies. The entire population is actually doing certain things and putting laws in place to hold certain groups down and to keep their numbers down, their education down, their health down. That is racism. White Americans have always been the main people who benefit from white supremacy. That's why it's white supremacy. They are the main ones who, even poor and in poverty, they do the dirty work for the rich people by beating slaves, catching slaves, being police officers, rioting whenever they can't get drafted. Like, how stupid are you to want to actually go to war and get killed? But anyways, the majority of the people who have caused the most destruction to black and brown communities have been those poor white people who claim they are not the problem because they didn't own slaves. No, not everybody can be a racist. I can talk all kinds of shit about white people. It's not going to make me anything. I can be prejudiced towards you. I can have disdain towards white people based on how I deal with and feel about racism affecting me, my life, my children's lives, my man's life, everybody's life that I love, just based on the fact that they are not white, not gonna make me racist. Make me all kinds of shit. I could be a bitch. I could be an asshole. I could be a bigot. I have nothing to gain. I can't be racist. And me disliking any or all white people doesn't affect white people at all. Except for those of y'all who actually, like to make everything about you and actually go out of your way to get upset by people who think like me. It's not going to change the facts that I speak just because you don't like how I say it and you don't like how I feel about you. The third thing, race isn't even real. It doesn't exist. So why even talk about it? Well, just because something is not a biological label, Billy, Becky, all the idiots who say dumb shit like that just to feel intelligent. Just because it is not biological does not mean that it is in fact non-existent. Race, gender, sexuality, all these things are social structures based on labels, differences. What you look like, what you prefer, what's in between your legs, and whatnot. Now, being a homosexual, or being black, or being a Latino of indigenous genetics, and viewing being a woman, they are not biological definitions, but they are very much so real, as are the issues that come along with it, historically and currently. Women, there is a disgusting history here in this country of rape and all types of abuse and a lack of rights, even to our own kids, making decisions of our own kids, working, going to college. Same thing with black folks, brown folks, red folks. Native Americans weren't even seen as citizens here until the 40s, 1940s. Or 1920s. I think Mexicans was 46. Just because it's not biological doesn't mean that it does not have a drastic effect on us or cause genocide. LGBTQ. Not sure how many more letters they're going to add to that, but still, history will show. There's a lot of murders, beatings, abuse, police brutality, laws that they couldn't even serve alcohol in bars if they were serving gay people, being targeted by the police and the FBI, getting killed, very similar to a lot of revolutionaries. Now, just because it's not biological and in your DNA, gay gene, it does not mean that being gay does not have sometimes life-threatening effects. So yeah, to the dumbasses. Race is a real thing. It is just not a biological thing. Stop trying to sound smart just to weasel your way out of a conversation you weaseled your way into. You look stupid. That's it. Those are the three main things that remind me how fucking stupid people are. I don't see why people go out of their way to enter themselves into a conversation to try to weasel their way out just to make some slick ass comment about not seeing what's right in front of your face. Saying something isn't real when racism, damn sure, is very much so real. Race is the main source of revenue in this country. Be it war with people of color, stealing their shit, their land, raping their land and their women, girls. Be it mass incarceration, making black and brown men look a certain type of way so that you can fill the jails. Be it slavery, which basically turned into prison. Behind closed doors, the slaves getting paid 10 cents a fucking hour for 8 to 10 hour days and then having to pay $5 for 1 minute phone call. Yeah, that's slavery. You can be given cash as a slave and then have to give it back and then still owe money. Slavery back then was working for free. Now it's working for debt. It is what it is. So I suggest people try to stop being so stupid, because whenever you say these dumb things to me, I'm going to cuss you out real quick fast. I'm going to make you feel as stupid as I see you as. And I'm not going to feel nonetheless worse. And me cussing your dumb ass out does not make me any less educated or aware of what I'm speaking about. It just makes you feel some kind of way. So you think, oh, what an educated so-and-so, or you can't be educated if you talk this way. Child, please. A sailor's mouth has no correlation with the brain capacity. Sounds good. No, it don't.